Shalom, brothers and sisters. I wanted to come on here and make a video about Ophiucus. This happened back in February. It was 1 month after Trump and Netanyahu did the peace treaty thing in the White House. And there's an explosion that's 5 times bigger than anything ever recorded in the galaxy. It was highly significant. I remember this because my daughter had a car accident that day. And I remember thinking Ophiucus had exploded in the galaxy and it was just random. And she also had 3 spider bites on her. But anyway, she's better and all that's over with now. Praise Yah. But I wanted to remind you guys that in Psalms 19, it says, "The heavens declare his glory. They announce his esteem. He comes out like a bridegroom. The witness is trustworthy. His stars were put in the sky." In Genesis it says to mark times for his believers, so we should take them very seriously and what he's showing us in them to heart. So back in February when this happened, I didn't really know, much what to think of it, but everything unfolding in 2020 has brought me to where I am today, and the understanding that there is something much more happening. So I started looking into it. And basically, Ophiucus means the snake bearer in Latin. It is the 13th constellation. It's the one in the middle. And here it is in this picture. And all the different signs around it. So if you can imagine and understand that the place in our galaxy that the man with a snake is standing is Ophiucus. And there was an explosion. A massive explosion recorded. So it's a big deal. It's a big sign. And I think that we need to understand that there are so many things going on above us that we can't, grasp in our understanding. But this is a fact that happened. And it goes along with everything else happening in 2020 as well. So I also wanted to talk about this Revelation verse that struck me. "And the great dragon was thrown out, that serpent of old, the devil and Satan, who leads the world astray. He was thrown to the earth, and his messengers were thrown out with him. And I heard a loud voice in heaven, 'Now have come the deliverance and the power and the reign of Elohim and the authority of his Messiah. For the accusers of our brothers who accused them before Elohim day and night has been thrown down. And they overcame him because the blood of the Lamb and because the word of their witness, that they did not love their lives to the death.'" And this verse right here, I feel like Ophiucus is all over it. Because we have a snake and a man. And Messiah being the one who conquered death, who conquered the serpent. It just all seems to fit so well. So I wanted to point that out. And I wanted to show you this video or this picture. And it's kind of another way you can see where Ophiucus is. It's kind of supposed to be in between like Scorpio and Sagittarius in the time, but they just fit it in there because it's in the middle, and I guess that's how they figured it out. But if you'll notice, there's triangles and a star, and in Hebrew they used to write a dalet as a triangle, and dalet is the 4th letter of the alphabet, and it is also standing for Messiah, the door. So if you can imagine these triangles spinning inside of this wheel, and then I'm reminded of Ezekiel. So Ezekiel's wheel and the spinning and the lifting, and I'll remind you that Yah commanded Ezekiel to stand up. He said to eat the scroll, to go speak to Israel, and to tell them the truth, to mark those who were crying about the abominations happening around them. So when he lifted him in the spirit and the wheels were spinning, this is the kind of image I'm imagining as I'm reading it. As if these triangles inside of this wheel right here are spinning. And this is the Torah, the truth, written in the stars, as we hear in Psalm 19 and in Genesis. Like I just said, they point to this being our map, our key to the map, to understand it. And so when I think about Ezekiel and how he had to mark everyone and everything that happened during that time, it points to the end. It points to right now. This is what's happening right now. The wheat and the tares are being exposed. So we know that Yahshua is the Torah, and he is the living word made flesh. He is our instructions, our truth, our way, our light. And we have to follow him. And when he shows us things and he tells us things we have to share, that we have to get it out there because the time is so late. I can't believe all the things that are happening. It's almost too much to even take in. We have so much going on in the world right now, as you guys know, with like fire tornadoes and Derico storms in California and 12,000 lightning bolts at once causing 500 fires. We have like a 40-mile tornado that stretched across Iowa and took out like 14 million acres of food, and we're looking at famine of biblical proportions. And they say that biblical proportions, why do they say that? They're pointing to it. We have 6.1 that happened back in California in June. We have a 6.1 that happened today in Costa Rica. It's like the contractions are just coming and coming and coming, and he's on his way. What do contractions do? They bring deliverance. They bring birth. So this revelation sign coming up with this anniversary, highly significant. We know that Neo-Weiss is going to go to the foot of the Virgin just 12 days before the 3-year anniversary, which is right around Tishri, and trumpets and all these things are happening like all together at once. Just more and more and more. It's never been like this. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody's ever made a peace treaty before that says Abraham Accord, that says an actual biblical name. It is so against the actual Abraham Accord. It's an abomination. And for this temple, this third temple that the 70 nations have vowed to keep Messiah out of, is an absolute abomination. Trump is behind that. Trump is behind putting Jerusalem into the world spotlight where it's prophesied to be in the end. And he's claiming all the glory. And he's saying, I did this. This is me. And it's all becoming revealed. And I just wanted to share with you guys the Ophiucus thing and some things to think about. I don't ever claim to have it figured out. I'm just on here trying to share the truth, and I've started making videos, so forgive me if I misspeak or I say something wrong. I am just a humble child of the Most High trying to shout out, give a shofar call that we're in the end times. Messiah is coming. Bo Yahshua. I love you guys. Keep reading your Bible. Keep spreading the light and the word.